We'd like to thank BetChrisCanada.net for their support of the Hockey Betting Podcast. I'm Brian Blessing in sunny Las Vegas.
And I'm Cam Stewart in cold Toronto, Canada.
If you love hockey and you're in Canada, and Cam is, by the All-Star break, even if you can't stop thinking about taking a vacation someplace sunny and warm, but you don't want to miss out on any of the hockey action, look for a BetChris near your next holiday destination.
BetChris is one of the leading sports books in the Western Hemisphere, with hundreds of sports betting locations throughout the Caribbean and Latin America.
Watch the game at a BetChris location. Food and drink specials and VIP lounges are available at many BetChris locations. Use the promo code PODCAST when you open your BetChris account.
Place some bets on your game and collect your cash at the window when the game is over.
BetChris offers single bets, parlay bets, teasers, and more on pregame and live odds for hockey and all your favorite Canadian and American sports leagues. And BetChris offers a variety of team and player props, including futures.
BetChris offers the best value odds on Canadian and international sports. Use the promo code PODCAST when you open up your account at a BetChris location. Deposit $750 or more and get up to a 40% reduced commission on your sports bets, up to minus 106 on single bets and parlay bets. That's the best juice in the biz.
So, if you're planning a trip to exotic locations from the Caribbean and Mexico to Peru and almost everywhere in between, the odds are very good. There's a BetChris Sportsbook where you're going on holiday. For more information about visiting a BetChris location while you're on holiday or to listen to or subscribe to the Hockey Betting Podcast, visit BetChrisCanada.net. That's BetChrisCanada.net. Cam, you're Canadian. When you leave Canada and you're heading south, use the promo code PODCAST.
You're listening to the Hockey Betting Podcast, presented by BetChrisCanada.net. This is the Hockey Betting Preview for Monday, November 25th, 2019. And now, live from Las Vegas, the host of the Hockey Betting Podcast, Brian Blessing.
Time to have at it. It's a brand new week in the National Hockey League. Brian Blessing in Vegas, Cam Stewart north of the border. We are ready to rock and roll. Trying to find you some winners, Cammy, and there are angles that are plentiful that continue to reap rewards for us. So let's start finding them again.
You said it, buddy. I told you, once they got rid of Babcock, Sheldon Keefe would be the right guy. It's early right now, but a win in Arizona, a win in Colorado for our team. Also, I've noticed, Brian, on Sunday, a lot of these teams, things get wacky on Sunday where a lot of these underdogs come in. Good win for your Sabres, getting beaten down Florida 5-2. Good spot for them. They were angry after a tough luck loss to the Bruins. These are things that you look at a lot of the time, and we've been betting this stuff for a long time, and you can find those angles. And I was on the Sabres on Sunday, and I've been on the Leafs the last couple games too with the new coach.
All right, buddy, we dive in, and there's a couple things tonight. Let's just start there. You mentioned Buffalo. They're at Tampa.
Tough game.
Now, I get the number. Tampa minus 250. Total on the game is 6.5. Buffalo is down. They've lost 7 forwards, Cam. It's unbelievable. And Kruger keeps making a mistake. He's trying to spread the offense out, and he's got Skinner buried on the second line. Throw him up with Eichel and Reinhart and live and die with the first line. You say that, and then against Florida, Gergensen's got a couple, and You know what they ended up doing, which is telling you how bad some of these guys are. I mean, Evan Rodriguez got hurt in the game. Nobody wants to see anybody get hurt. But this kid's just been atrocious. And when he came back in the lineup, the Sabres drove off a cliff.
Yep.
They put Brandon Montour, a forward, up on defense yesterday. And he looked better than any winger that's played for the last month.
Yeah, I've never been a real fan of Rodriguez. He might be a nice kid, but yeah, he's just not a very good hockey player, Brian. I don't think he's very good at all. But yeah, you said it. This team's a mash unit. Hate to say it too. Tampa Bay laying a big price. I'd probably look at the Lightning, but I don't lay that kind of number. So
let me throw one at you. Well, this team, literally, their season's unraveling. They outplayed Boston. They really did. They outplayed Boston.
They did.
And lost. Went to Florida, get the win. Now it's back-to-back days. The one thing that's good for a team like Buffalo, their goalies are 1 and 1A, right?
Yep.
And Olmark played great against Florida. Well, you know you're coming back, and now Carter Hutton's going to be there. The one little subplot here, Kucherov's out.
Yes.
And it was only 2 weeks ago, these two teams played over in Stockholm, and there was a lot of bad blood built up there. And Tampa won both games, but Buffalo historically plays these guys tough. The number is massive. There's something telling me they're not getting rolled tonight. They're in this game tonight. I think they had a real bad taste in their mouth what happened over in Sweden. I mean, I think they show up with an effort.
What about the total? You got to think 6.5 with these guys. Tampa, even without Kucherov, they could score. Buffalo could score on them. It seems like a high number, but 7, I don't know, man. That's tough. I lean over in the game, but
it's not. There's better games on the card.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm just saying. I think it's buyer beware for Tampa. I really do.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm not going to be laying that number either. I'm looking for something else, buddy.
Ottawa's at Columbus. Columbus is $1.60.
I'll tell you, Ottawa, they worked their ass off. I love this team. They've been great.
Aren't they fun?
The last couple times I've been betting them, it's weird. And Brian, despite me cheering for the Leafs, I don't hate the Senators. I respect teams that try, and I like the way that they're playing right now. They're playing for their coach
every night. They
do. They put their hard hats on. They're the hardest working team, man. Duclair's been great since coming over. Actually, interesting angle. Former Blue Jacket playing against his team and playing better for Ottawa. Ottawa's been a great dog. I cashed them in Montreal. They beat down the Rangers at home when I was on them again at a pick 'em or like getting plus like even money. It was crazy. I'll tell you one thing. I wouldn't be laying 65 cents with the Jackets. People know they're playing better.
Total 6. Columbus on a 3-game overheater, but I don't like the game. But I do. I root for Ottawa.
Yeah, me too. Ottawa might make my card at plus $1.45. It's well worth a look, Brian. I'll tell you one thing. Columbus isn't going to blow these guys out. They show up every night. If they get any type of goaltending, they can win this game.
Well, here's a great one, and that's Vancouver at Philadelphia. And to me, the definition of two teams you can't trust. Philly's $1.45, 6 shaded over. I will say this. I keep waiting for the Vancouver thing to just quietly flounder out a little bit. But just when you think they're toast, 3-game losing streak, they walk in and beat Nashville, and you're kidding me? Walked in and beat Washington.
It's crazy. That's the thing about the Canucks. You talk about it. Jekyll and Hyde, they can look like one of the best teams in the league when they're clicking. Their power play has been great recently. Absolutely stellar. As for Philadelphia, they're a team you can't trust as a favorite. You'd think there'd be goals scored in this game. It's weird. Vancouver likes to really open it up on the road. They don't play that kind of safe style, Brian. They've been scoring goals, 6, and Philadelphia can score too. I think Vancouver-Philadelphia over 6 is something that's going to make my card.
All right, brother. What do we do here? Calgary, we just got done talking about them at Pittsburgh. Yeah. Pittsburgh's $1.60. Total 6 shaded to the under. Penguins treading water without Crosby. But, they did what they should do. You beat a crummy New Jersey team.
This is a tough game. I'm going to tell you, this is a really tough schedule. Calgary is one of those teams, Brian. They had the players-only meeting. What happened? They beat Philadelphia, but is it just going to last one game? You're getting 50 cents with these guys. You got to hand it to Pittsburgh. They take care of business, beating the Devils. Like, they've been playing good hockey even without Sidney Crosby. I looked at Calgary at plus 150, but it's hard to pull the trigger, buddy. It's tough.
That is a tough one. There's no doubt. Minnesota and the Rangers. Minnesota minus 25 on the road, 6.5 to the under. Buddy, we talked about this last week, and good for you. I know you stepped up and did it.
Yeah.
You had Colorado, Minnesota, and the game was a pick. Going, what's the number saying here? And sure enough, Minnesota beat the Avs 3-2. The one thing I will tell you about this Minnesota team, out of nowhere, like, they can score. I mean, they're like an over team. I go over.
The problem is it's 6.5 now. We're not getting that 6, right? So the books have adjusted to Minnesota. And I'll tell you one thing about the Rangers, too. They give up goals and score goals, right? Like, they've been playing really loose hockey recently. That's a 6.5. I'd go over. I'd go over in this game, too.
That's
but
a slight plus price.
Yeah, it's decent. I don't like the fact that they've caught on because the Minnesota games used to be 5.5. I thought we could get a 6 here, and then I definitely play the over. But at 6.5, I lean over, and I won't be betting the Wild on the road. I'll look at the Rangers as a small home dog. But as you said, buddy, I'm going up and down the schedule. It's a tough betting board.
All right, St. Louis is at Nashville. Nashville's $1.50. Total 5.5 shaded.
I'll take Nashville. Okay, are we going to give Nashville one more chance? Does Nashville get a chance tonight? at 40 cents. Like, this is a game. Stanley Cup winners are coming in. They should win. They've been very disappointing. I got to tell you, the Nashville Predators, you want to talk, we've talked about the Leafs being disappointment, Vegas. Nashville could join the list. They're a train wreck. How do you lose to Vancouver? And they've been, Chicago, they get blown out, Brian. I expect better things from the Predators.
Well, buddy, now this is a home and home, back to back, right? And Bertuzzo gets a 4-game suspension for cross-checking Arvidsson. Did you see that?
I know Bertuzzo personally. He's actually a really nice guy. But
I know the nice guys can be, it's like
they're animals on the ice.
He's got heads under his porch. And you go,
it's true.
Well, he's a nice guy. Well, do you think he's got 11 heads under his porch? Oh yeah, he did it. Yeah.
It just kills me, these guys in the NHL, like the most mild-mannered, like nice guys are the ones that are killers. Like, I've known Bertuzzo well because he used to, when I did my Journey to the Cup, sometimes he was a healthy scratch and I talked to him a lot and he used to watch the show. So I got to know him.
But I mean, Arvidsson's laying in the crease.
Yeah.
He gets, first of all, he gets mauled. He gets cross-checked into the crease, goal scored. He's lying there. And Bertuzzo, 3 seconds after the play's over, I mean, a 2-hand cross-check. I mean, seriously, to his ribs, spleen. Who the hell knows what he did to this guy? Arvidsson's out 6 weeks. Bertuzzo gets suspended for 4 games. There's a lot of bad blood going to be in this game tonight.
Yeah, you're right. And the total's 5.5. With bad blood, sometimes what do we see? Power plays. That's the thing. It's going to be one of those games, Brian. You look at the under. I wouldn't be betting the under at 5.5 in this game. I think the Predators have to make a statement too at home, in the home and home. I like Nashville laying $1.40. They haven't been that consistent, and I'd actually go over the 5.5.
For outstanding information and special offerings and promotions, we invite you and encourage you to sign up for our newsletter today simply by going to the website betchriscanada.net. All right, now here, and
Tell me about this one, Brian. Tell me.
Well, I apologize because this is the rub. The nightmare is finding out, okay? Yesterday morning, and I still haven't found out. Now, I'm telling you, I'm convinced. Vegas plays tonight at Dallas. They play Wednesday night at Nashville.
Yeah.
If you look at their schedule down the road, there's one back-to-back night thing. There is no other spot. There is no other logical spot for Vegas to have their dads with them. It makes such complete and utter sense. You play at Dallas tonight. You have fun with the family in Nashville. You play the Predators. You fly home to Vegas with your dads. They're all, and then everybody has a Thanksgiving dinner. I cannot get it confirmed one way or the other. None of these teams are putting it out there that it's under a rock. I think they understand it. It's with the betting thing, but I'm telling you, Cam, I put it out on Twitter. I know nothing. I said it just makes too much sense, and if it wasn't the plan, it should be. And Vegas is struggling. Vegas, in the first 2 years of their existence, are 4-0 with the dads in tow. And I'm waiting for the morning skate, and then a beat writer's going to say, oh, yeah, and the dads are here. No one's saying they're there. But there's no other spot on the schedule that makes this kind of sense. And Vegas is playing awful.
They are. And this is the night, I think, if you can confirm it with me, I would take them. Because it's kind of like the Calgary situation. I think they stopped the bleeding. Dallas has been better, but it's only 30 cents. I think the line's telling you something, that people believe Vegas can win this game. I do. I'm getting plus 10 in this game. Looks like a interesting total too, Brian. 5.5. Dallas scores goals now too. In Vegas, they're going to have to get a few. I'm telling you. I think the visiting team in the over. I like Vegas more on the side than the total, but I will be. If you can confirm that with me, I'd take a shot with Vegas getting 10 cents tonight. But Dallas they play pretty good at home.
Well, listen, and I am watching this like with rapt attention. 28 minutes ago, beat reporter saying heading over to the morning skate now. So like any minute, at the time of this taping, this information, either they're there or they're not. If you look at the schedule, it's got to be a 2-day hop with a day in between where you can have some fun. There is no other spot. And oh, by the way, Thanksgiving's Thursday. It's
exactly.
like, an idiot could figure this out. Yeah, you're just waiting to get it confirmed. But that being said, the Stars are 10-0-1 in their last 11, 13-1-1 in their last 15. Again, it's Vegas, and here in Vegas, they'll bet the Golden Knights, playing the Central Red Army team.
So you're telling me you like Dallas tonight? It's only 30 cents.
If the dads are there, I'm playing Vegas.
Yeah, if not, you're going to
And by the way, maybe the dads get them out of this funk they're in. But there is one thing. See, and Dallas doesn't strike me as this team. But, Cam, Vegas is trying to figure out their identity.
They
were a rocket sled team in the first year. You couldn't hit what you couldn't catch. Now it's a mix of size and speed. Edmonton, Boston, Arizona, there have been several others. Vegas has a lot of good players. If they get an offensive zone draw and they get set up and they can work you, sure, yeah, they can score. But over 60 minutes, Cam, Edmonton skated rings around them. And I'm not just talking about McDavid. Fast teams eat these guys lunch.
Yeah, I know, and that's scary. And Dallas has some pretty good guys on that team, but they're an old-school playoff team too, Brian. It's a tough game. I really believe, though, you have to look and you have to see the situation, and you do. You know this team well. I got to say they stopped the bleeding. They understand it's important. They've been playing very poor hockey. I expect their best effort in Big D tonight. So I think I am going to back the Golden Knights. I was on Calgary against Philadelphia, and they got it done. I think it's the same type of situation. They're going to have a very desperate hockey team tonight. I'll take the plus money.
Yeah, well, and the other thing is, the one thing I would just always say to you, if there is a dad's trip, and again, I wish I could. I think that the information is going to come out any minute. But the one thing, know that when there's a dad's trip, both goalies will play because the backup goalie's got a dad. And the question is, what do you do? And honestly, Fleury's been amazing. He's been absolutely great, Cam, because Vegas has been an atrocity in their own end.
It's true. Yeah, it is. And Subban's actually had to stand on his head, too, in situations. But Fleury's so damn good. And you got to think if he gets the start, I'll definitely be playing that one. What do you think about the next one, Brian? Islanders and Ducks. Seems like a short price for the Islanders, but something in, you get that vibe. Something's telling me be very careful with this hockey game.
Well, there's the one thing we know for a fact is Barry Trotz is the coach of the year.
Yes, he is.
But
give it to him now.
The one thing, though, it had to come to an end. They were on this ridiculous heater and lost at San Jose 2-1. They do strike me as the kind of team where, like, okay, they don't want anything to fester, the bounce back spot. Yep. And it is, but Gibson's always the great equalizer. Let me double check. It's going to be Grice versus Gibson. Under?
Yeah, I lean Islanders and the under. Thomas Grice also, too, probably from his days in the Western Conference. Not a big fan of the Ducks playing for the Sharks. So he's seen them a lot. I expect the Islanders best. I'll lay a quarter with them, and I agree. Under, I think it's a 3-1, 2-1 type of hockey game, maybe an empty netter. I don't expect the Ducks to score on the Islanders, so yeah, I'll go under 5.5.
And by the way, the San Jose Shark, Shark. I'm just looking at this, Cam. They are back.
I'm taking them tonight too. I'm on San Jose. I'll lay the 30 cents now. LA could win the game, sure. They've been playing a little bit better at home, but the Sharks had them tonight. They beat the Islanders. You got to take them tonight. Just ride it out. And they don't like LA laying 30 cents. I'm on the Sharks, Brian.
Well, and here's the other thing.
I like the over too.
There you go. I was just going to go there because, and by the way, Edmonton killed San Jose. Edmonton killed Vegas. This Edmonton thing is starting to get some legs. But after that game, San Jose beat Vegas 2-1, played a real plotty kind of game, and it worked. And then the Islanders like to play that way. This should be a breath of fresh air for the Sharks. Yeah, I think it's an over game.
Yeah, I agree too, because the Kings at home will score. I think they'll probably get 3. I think SJ Shark, you'll get 5. I think it's going to be that type of game. Lots of offense, but I'm going to take the Sharks, Brian. Don't stop. When this freight train is a rolling, we're on it, and we've been on it from the get-go. A lot of the times you get on streaks too late. not with San Jose. We saw this one coming, and they've been playing great hockey. I took them against the Islanders as well. It was a really good week, and I'm going to ride it out with San Jose. I think they're a better team than LA. LA will score at home, but San Jose is going to get more. Over and the Sharks.
All right, real quick. We got 3 tomorrow. Boston, Montreal should be a great game. Minnesota, Jersey, like the over. Dallas is at Chicago. Dallas playing tonight, has to fly to Chicago. That could be Chicago's running a little hot and cold for me, but they're a higher scoring team. Got to think, you know what? I think you get the backup goalie tomorrow night. You get Bishop tonight. Maybe over in Dallas, Chicago, over in Minnesota, Jersey, and I'm just going to sit back and watch Boston and Montreal kill each other.
That's the thing. I'd be worried, and I'll tell you one thing, Boston, you better bring your A game because Montreal, they've been playing poor hockey. They're going to be ready for. That's how they get back in form, Brian. When the Boston Bruins come to town, I got to be honest with you. I like the over even in that game with good goaltending. Tomorrow, on the Tuesday, the salami. Hey, my butcher knows what I like, and it's salami. Over, big stick of salami, please. I love it. The salami over. Yeah, give me it's Thanksgiving. Give me an extra. I want lots of salami as a side with my turkey.
And it's not keep digging, it's keep eating.
Keep eating. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, salami over tomorrow night, definitely.
There you go. He's Camp Stewart. I'm Brian Blessing. Best of luck on frozen water.
You've been listening to the Hockey Betting Podcast, presented by BetChrisCanada.net.
For outstanding information and special offerings and promotions, we invite you and encourage you to sign up for our newsletter today simply by going to the website, BetChrisCanada.net.
The handicapping and sports odds information contained on this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Please confirm the wagering regulations in your jurisdiction as they vary from state to state, province to province, and country to country. Using this information to contravene any law or statute is prohibited. The podcast is not associated with, nor is it endorsed by any professional or collegiate league, association, or team. This podcast does not target and is not intended for an audience under the age of 18. If you think that you have a gambling addiction, stop this podcast now and please seek help.
Gambling and betting on sports is a form of entertainment and should be about having a good time. But when done excessively, it may negatively affect other areas of a person's life, such as their physical and mental health, school or work performance, finances, and or interpersonal relationships. At BetChrisCanada.net and the Hockey Betting Podcast, we're concerned about the addiction that gambling may cause, and for this reason, we encourage everyone to practice responsible gambling, an approach to gambling that helps you ensure that it remains an enjoyable activity. Here are the main principles of responsible gambling. Don't think of gambling as a way to make money. Always gamble with money that you can afford to lose. Set limits and stick to them. Never chase losses. Don't gamble when you're depressed or upset, and create a healthy balance. Always be aware of how much time you spend gambling or thinking about gambling. And do not allow gambling to cause you to miss out on time with family and friends or time spent on other activities you enjoy. By following these guidelines, gambling can be a good time and great entertainment. If you feel at any time that your gambling is taking away from important areas of your life, is causing you stress or depression, or is leading to financial losses that are beyond your control, please reach out for help. Learn more at responsiblegambling.org.